Okay, good evening, guys. Thank you so much for being on this with us tonight. My name is Christine Carroll, and I am the founder of Team Shine. And we are going to use the next, hopefully, hour or less to kind of explain to you what it is we do as Beachbody coaches. So first of all, I do want to say you have to bear with me. I apologize. Our dog is not doing very well, and I've been crying all day, so I'm kind of a mess. So anyways, I won't get into it because then I'll cry and hang up on all of you. So just to tell you a little bit about me, as I'm sweating already. Okay, so here's my story. About 8 years ago or so, I was in a very, very, very dark place. I've suffered with anxiety and depression my entire adult life. I've had periods of very, very high highs and very, very low lows. I have, days where I would call in sick to work and I would just binge eat and lay in my bed and just have no purpose. Very high anxiety. I worried all the time. I was always, wanting to please everybody. So undeniable, so insecure. I mean, to a point of annoying my husband. Just all those things that go through your head that can mess you up. That's what I suffered with all of my adult life. So about 8 years ago, it kind of was the worst of the worst. And I was in such a dark place, heavily self-medicating and not present in my home. I mean, I was here, but I wasn't here. I wasn't helping as a wife. I wasn't helping as a mother. And my husband had enough. So I woke up one morning and there was a note. It was on the floor, on the hardwoods. And it basically said, you need to get help to get out. So I had to leave. Probably a week or so before that, I was scrolling Facebook, and this isn't funny, but I was probably drunk, and I saw someone post about the challenge group. And I read it, and I was like, okay, I've heard of Beachbody. I know what it is. I've heard of Shakeology. My coach, Jamie, is on here. So I just was like, whatever, I'll do it. I didn't have a purpose or a rhyme or a reason. I was just like, okay, I'll do that. So I got my first program and my first bag of Shakeology, all right, not knowing what was going to happen. For whatever reason, I went to outpatient treatment for 5 weeks, but I went about 5 hours away from home. I had no support. I had no one having my back or whatever. Thank God I had a dear friend from college that lived 5 hours away that let me stay with her, and we found a facility for me. I packed my weights and I packed my Shakeology in my car. Why? I don't know. I mean, it was the worst time of my life. Those first few days were the worst days ever. But for some reason, it's God, had me pack that stuff with me. I'm so emotional today. I'm sorry. So I did. And for whatever reason, every morning I would wake up and I would press play and I would do my workout and I would drink a shake. And for us coaches, you always hear that, do your workout, drink a shake. And I did it. Then I would go all day and I would spend all day in therapy. And in the beginning, God, it sucked. It sucked so bad. But the first day I was there, they diagnosed me bipolar. So they immediately started changing my meds. I think that was the first night I had slept and I don't know how long. So medicine works, guys. No shame. And I just continued to work on myself every single day. And when I left, I had a lot of work to come do at home, just kind of, repair the damage and the mess that, I had caused my family. But I came home also, almost with a sigh of relief. This huge weight was off my shoulders. I didn't care. I didn't care anymore. I was like, oh my gosh, being diagnosed bipolar is awesome because you just don't care. I didn't care what people thought about me anymore. I didn't worry anymore. I'm like, this is who I am and I own it. And I also contribute that to a lot of working here and a lot of working here and a lot of working here because I swear Beachbody gave me a passion for the absolute first time in my life. I had never felt as strongly about anything like this. My husband's on here. He knows I love him more than life itself, my son, but I didn't have a purpose. Okay. So if you're a mom on here and you have mom guilt, it's not allowed because you're allowed to be something else besides a mom. That does not take away your identity and does not make you a bad wife or a mom. It gave me a purpose. And I ran to my coach, Jamie, and I said, I want to do what you do. So she's so lucky because I went to her. But anyway, so I was like, I want to be a coach. I want to be a coach. I fell in love with this world. Oh my gosh. So I signed up to be a coach. In the first few months, it was rainbows and unicorns. I loved just how I felt and I wanted people to feel that way. And then I went to my first live event about 6 months after I enrolled. And long story short, it changed everything in the way I looked at this business. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm a business owner. This is legit. This is going to change my life. It had already changed my life, but in a different way, where I went from, feeling miserable and messed up to being diagnosed properly, to then realizing that I had a physical and mental transformation, to realizing I was a business owner. And I am very proud to say that 6.5 years later, Beachbody does not guarantee any level or success of income. It's based on your own diligence and effort. But we've had our second year of 6-figure earnings. And I wholeheartedly believe in this business and what it can do for you. Or I would not have invited you here, and the person that invited you here would not have invited you here either if they did not believe that. Okay, so I just want to tell you a little bit about my story. I have an amazing team of just wonderful people, and I want you to hear from them. So we're going to start with Valerie Lambert first. She is amazing, and she's going to talk to you a little bit about what we do and don't do. So Valerie, it's all yours.
Hey guys. Thanks for being here tonight. I'm so excited to talk to you. I want to tell you a little bit about myself before I get started talking about the myths and misconceptions of Beachbody coaching. I think it's important for you to understand a little bit about me too. So in addition to being a Beachbody coach, I am a wife. I'm a mom of 4. My kids are 9, 7, 6, and 4. I have to think about that sometimes because we just had birthdays and we're about to have more birthdays. But
hey, Valerie, are you guys having a hard time hearing her? Can you turn up your volume a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I also work full-time as a school psychologist. So I am super, can you hear me okay? Okay, good. So I am super busy, but I make time for this because to me, it's important and I enjoy it. So the reason I got started was I was going back to work 8 months postpartum after having baby number 4. And I was tired of wearing maternity clothes. I was going to have to go back to work in my maternity clothes, and I just didn't want to do that. And at that time, I thought working out was selfish for moms. I thought that like as a mom, you just have to pour everything into your children. And that's simply, I found out it wasn't the case. I used to give my husband like guilt trips about working out, like seriously, like I said, like that is selfish. You need to be spending time with the kids. But so anyways, I started 21 Day Fix. I reached out to my coach. I saw her posting about it. I started drinking Shakeology. I was one of those people who was like, I don't think I want to drink Shakeology. It's too expensive. I don't want any part of that. But guys, I started drinking it and like, I never looked back. I started losing weight. I started feeling better. People were noticing and they're like, what are you doing? And I found out like, I didn't want to just refer those people on to my coach. I wanted to be the one to help them too. I wanted to help other people realize there's more to motherhood than being a mother, that it's okay to spend time on yourself and you're better for it. Because that's what the lesson that I learned kind of the hard way, so to speak. So I've been a coach for 3.5 years and I lost about 35 to 40 pounds, I guess. But that's not where I started my coaching journey. I started my coaching journey after I'd just been doing 21 Day Fix for a couple months. And so one of those myths and misconceptions about coaching is that you already have to be at your ideal weight or you have to look a certain way. And that's not true. When I got started, I was down maybe 15 pounds. I was just kind of getting started. You don't have to be at your goal weight. You just have to be on a journey and be willing to share about that. And honestly, people are inspired by that journey. So like people that know me now that I didn't know back then, sometimes like they don't realize, like if I don't share my transformation, they don't realize the weight that I lost. They think like I'm automatically this way. And no, I had to work hard for this, but people are inspired by sharing that journey. And no, we don't have to look a certain way. We're all different shapes, sizes, genders, ethnicities, you know, everything. And guys, okay, so like I love to people watch, and I don't know if any of you guys like to people watch too, but you know, Christine talked about how live events change everything. Well, when we have our annual summit, which is like our national convention, one of my favorite things to do is people watch. And it's true, Beachbody coaches look all different. There are some people that you can tell have been on this health and fitness journey for a long time, like they are far along. There are some people that are just getting started. There's men, there's women, there's people that are all tatted up and colored hair, and people that look like, they walked out of a sorority house or fraternity house. There's normal people. I mean, I don't know what normal is. There's no normal. We all look different, okay? You just have to have a love and belief in our programs. You don't have to be perfect either. You might think as a coach, like, oh, I can't be a coach because I have setbacks and I eat brownies from time to time. Guys, that's not true. Like, you can be a coach. Like, it is okay. I am not one to emotional eat, but I totally was emotional eating today because I had one of those Alexander and the terrible, horrible, no good, very bad days. Nothing bad. It's just like all those little things, Alexander, all those little things happen. That's how today was. But it's okay. Like, I embrace that and I share that with my challenge group, and it makes me more relatable too. And they can see, like, hey, one setback doesn't have to determine, everything, that you're never going to eat healthy again. You just pick yourself back up and get started again. So people are inspired by that journey. Okay. So you don't have to look a certain way. You don't have to be your ideal weight, nothing like that. The next myth or misconception is that you have to be a fitness or a nutrition expert. And although you certainly can be, and if you're bringing that to the table, it's probably, a real benefit, but you don't have to be. Most of us probably aren't, and that's okay, because here's the cool thing about Beachbody. We have these awesome tools, right? We've got these awesome fitness programs and nutrition programs that someone else designed for us. So we don't need to have that knowledge. What we need to do is to be able to help people follow those programs, right? So we need to be like their biggest supporter, their biggest cheerleader. We need to help match people up with those tools. So knowing, like, being able to ask those questions and know, like, this person's a beginner, so this program might be good for them. But you don't have to actually give them, health and fitness kinds of advice. You just have to trust the programs and instill that trust and belief in them. Okay. So the next myth or misconception is that you have to have a lot of extra time, that this takes a lot of time. And again, that's one of my favorite ones, because, like, I don't have a lot of time, but I still make this work because I love it. So you can do this as a full-time job. You can do this as a part-time job. You can do this as a hobby. I mean, that's the beauty of it. You can make of it what you want, and we will support you in those goals. So, really, to get started, you probably need about an hour a day. But it doesn't have to be a whole chunk of an hour. I never have a whole chunk of an hour. I work in pockets where I might have 15 minutes here and 15 minutes there and 15 minutes there. But like any job, you have to do the work, right? Like, you can't just show up to work and do nothing and expect to get paid for it, right? That doesn't happen. You have to do the work. You have to put in some training because, again, like any job, you have to learn how to do the job. So as long as you're willing to do some work, as long as you're coachable and you have a desire to do this, don't let time stop you. If you want to do this, don't let time stop you. Okay. The next one, myth or misconception, is probably my favorite one. And that's that you have to be an icky salesman, or like one of those people where people, see you in the grocery store coming and they're like, oh gosh, I don't want to talk to her. She's going to try to sell me something, and they turn and go the other way. And one reason why this was a myth or misconception for me is it's because, like, that's what I was most concerned about when I was getting started. And again, it's so far from the truth. We share about what works in an authentic way. You don't see us putting stock photos on our Facebook pages saying, buy this from me. No, we might talk about our workout and our shake, but we talk about what it does for us and how it makes us a better person and what we get out of it. We don't say, buy this from me, I'm selling this, but we talk about it like how we would talk about, like, our favorite restaurant or our favorite pair of shoes. And we all love, to give advice and help other people. And that's what we're doing as Beachbody coaches. We're building relationships with people. And the cool thing about Beachbody that I really like is that when we do sell something to someone, that's not where their relationship ends. We don't sell it to them and then just leave them on their own. That's where the relationship starts. So I get super excited when someone orders something from me, because like they trust me, and I know like this is just the start. Like I get to help them. I get the honor of helping them. They're trusting me, and we get to build this relationship together. So we're not just selling something, we're sharing, we're helping people, we're building relationships. It's just awesome. So it's just so cool. Okay. The next myth or misconception is that you have to have a large social media following, or you have to know a lot of people, or be an extrovert. And again, this is one that has a soft spot in my heart too, because I am not an extrovert at all. Like I am so introverted. Like talking in front of people like this, it makes me go a little crazy sometimes, because it's just not something that comes naturally to me. But what you do have to be able to do is you have to connect with the people that you do know. And honestly, sometimes introverts, I think, are better at this because we're good listeners, right? Like, again, we're not trying to sell things to people. We're trying to offer them solutions. And so we have to ask them questions and get to know them and understand them. And introverts, like, we're good at listening, right? We're good at like establishing those deep relationships with people and hearing them. So again, you just have to kind of have a willingness to share with the people that you do know, and share what makes you you. So again, like with social media, you're not just sharing about health and fitness. You're not, Valerie Lambert, Beachbody coach. Like if you look at my social media, I share about health and fitness, but I also share a lot about cooking, because that's something that I love. I love cooking and eating and clean eating. So I'm always sharing that. And I share about my family and my kids. I share a lot of like sarcastic mom humor, because like I've got 4 kids, and that's the only way I can make it in this world is if I laugh about it. So that's what I share. That's what makes me me. So you don't have to like leave your identity behind, with social media and just become like this super healthy, fit, crazy person. Okay. Cause we are not. And then the final one, and again, this is one that I really like too, is that, Beachbody is a pyramid scheme. And one reason why I like to talk about this is because I'll confess, when I signed up as a coach, it's not that I thought Beachbody was a pyramid scheme, but I'm like, MLM, I don't know about that. Like I still kind of had my doubts. So I want to talk about this and kind of put it out on the table, because I bet some of you kind of have those doubts, even sitting here too. So first thing, talking about what a pyramid scheme is. If you Google what a pyramid scheme is, there's no products involved, right? And you get paid based upon the number of recruits that you have, new people under you, and you can never make more than the person above you. And that's not how Beachbody is. We obviously have products. You've heard us talk about Shakeology and Energize and all those things we love. So we have a lot of great products, but you can absolutely make more than the person above you. And Abby, I think, is going to be talking later about how we earn money. And we do not get paid or compensated at all for signing new coaches. It's not about how many coaches we have. It's about what we do together as a team and the products that we produce, or our volume that we produce as a team. And, if you think about companies, and this is where I kind of like to explain it, because this is where I kind of had some doubts when I was getting started with the whole MLM structure. But if you think about all companies have an organizational structure, right? All businesses have an organizational structure, right? There are salespeople at the bottom where they just sell and they just earn commissions. Above them, there's like middle level managers, and then upper level managers, and it keeps going up and up, right? And the people at the bottom, they make less because they have fewer responsibilities too, right? All they're doing is selling. But the people that are above them, they're selling some, but they're also supporting the team below them. They're training them. They're doing other kinds of activities. So it makes sense that they're compensated for those activities, right? Same thing with us. When we've got coaches underneath us, we're not just like signing coaches and leaving them. And you guys know this because we're helping you along too, and we are training you, and we're working together as a team. So it makes sense that together as a team, we earn income in addition to our personal. Okay. I was not looking at the comments at all as I was talking because I get distracted. So I'm going to read through and see if there's any other questions. Can I turn my volume up? Yes, I did. Summit rocks. It totally rocks. If any of you guys sign up, you have to go to Summit. It's a game changer. And then you'll get to meet all of us too, which is, we want to meet you. It'd be so fun. Yeah, I had a crappy day. It wasn't super crappy. I'm a drama queen. It's just little things. It's those little things that add up. I also got a new refrigerator today, so that sparks joy right there. Any questions that you guys have? I know I can talk for a long time and get on autopilot. So if you guys have any questions, put them in the chat or pipe in. Okay. Well, if you think of anything, we'll be watching the chat. I'm going to turn it over to Lincoln now, who is Christine's husband. And he is going to share some awesome knowledge with us. He is like our team dad, and he's a super big asset for us to have.
So I'm Lincoln. Thanks, Valerie. I thought you were going to stop the big asset a little short. I was like, wait a second. So I'm Lincoln. I've been a coach for about a day less than Christine. So I'm going to, I guess, kind of a segue from the myths. I want to talk a little bit about the business side of it. So when Christine started this 6.5 years ago, I was always, well, I at least thought or considered myself to be supportive. Really what I was a do what you want, have fun doing it, as long as it doesn't interfere with our time. So I support you, but not really, I guess. So it wasn't, I wasn't mean or in a bad way, but I didn't want it to interfere because I really didn't understand. So a couple of years ago, probably 3.5 years now, over 3 years ago, she had been trying to get me to watch. There were 2 videos that she had highlighted. One was a team call like this from a superstar coach, I believe, and then another short training video. And I waited and waited, and she likes to say I was stubborn. It was the only time I've ever been stubborn, I think, with her. But anyway, I finally watched the video, and it hit me. So I didn't really know what. I guess I didn't know what Beachbody was. I drank the Shakeology. I did the workouts with her. I've always loved Beast, and I do a lot with her. But I never had seen the business aspect. I saw that she was making some money, and that was nice. But once I saw the business opportunity, it really hit me. So I've been in business for as old as I am. I actually started doing business when I was 7, 8 years old. I had my own little entrepreneur businesses. But I graduated from West Point with a degree in economics. I got my MBA. I immediately went into finance, and I've been in financial services forever. And once I saw the numbers behind this, and I actually studied how the business side of this worked, it hit me that this is truly a legit business. So I don't really see any guys on the video or on the screen, except like 3, 4, 5-year-old guys. I don't think they count. But but I do know throughout the years that I've been helping Christine and helping the team, there are other guys on that show up on these calls sometimes that are very supportive, and they've kind of learned the business themselves, and they're more than supportive of their coach. But I also have seen some significant others that are less than supportive. So I really wanted just to make sure that I made the point that once, I think the reason why people aren't supportive or don't see the true business opportunity is because they don't look. They come into it with what Valerie said, it's a pyramid scheme. It's, I don't know if you should get into this. But if you look at it, I mapped out for Christine a couple of years ago, my organization at work. I have a boss, and I have under my boss, there are peers. My peers. Under me, there are several people. Under them are several people. And we work in a pyramid. Every company that has a CEO and layers of people, it is a pyramid. Pyramid's not a bad thing. And I think people have attributed that to be a bad word, and kind of said that about this. So anyway, so once I got on board, I've been heavily involved with the team for a few years now. I love helping other people. I was helping a couple of people today back and forth. I always encourage people when you sign up, if you know what you're doing, great. There are some people who want to do it on their own. They have their own strategy. That's wonderful. But I am always willing to help those I guess I kind of help those who help themselves. But if people invest the time, I will always invest my time. So I do apologize. There was somebody today, I was talking back and forth. I was trying to sit in a meeting with my boss, trying to Facebook message. It's kind of hard to do that sometimes. So sometimes I'll do quick answers, sometimes I won't answer. But as soon as I'm free, I'll pull up the downline, I'll look at it, I'll help you decide if you want, should it go on the left, should it go on the right, what's the advantage? I'll map out longer term placement for those like Abby who've been around a while that have high aspirations. I'll help map out, this is what I would recommend. So anyway, I'm here to help. And for those that have family members or significant others that might not be as supportive, I'm happy to talk to them. I'm happy to share the training videos that I watched. And the one thing I would ask is just give it a try. Do a workout. I've heard people say, well, the workouts, I can't work out at home. Just try one. And try the business. Try to understand what the coach is actually doing. So anyway, that's my soapbox. And I didn't look at the chats either. Sorry, I see some stuff now. Are there any questions? Sorry, I can't read. Okay.
You're good.
Okay.
All right. Abby, take it away, sister.
Oh, I do have to piggyback though. Lincoln is one of those guys that you feel like, oh, surely he doesn't want to help you. And then when you reach out and he does help you, and then all of a sudden, like, you start to get it. And I remember this moment when he said, the student has become the teacher. And I was like, because I finally got to the point where everything that he was saying was clicking. And I'm like, yeah. So now I just pop in and be like, hey, just wanted to see what you thought. I still care about what you think. So, but Lincoln's been awesome and wonderful and has been a huge connector with my own husband, with helping him to understand what I do and what we do as a company and how we earn money, which is what I get to talk about because that's the best part. I mean, it's a really great part of what we do, but let's be real. It's nice to earn some income, right? So I'm going to try to attempt to do some technology here. Hold on, y'all. I'm going to try to share my screen, see if I can get my PowerPoint. Okay. So I am so excited because I get to talk to you about how we earn money, but I want to give a little bit of my story too. So similar to Valerie, I am a mom. I've got 2 boys. William is 8 and he is full of energy and sweetness. He also has some extra special needs that keep me on my toes always. And then I have James, who is 6 and full of all sorts of kindergarten rottenness and knows everything. So they keep me busy. I'm also a wife to a police officer. My husband is a captain for the police department in the city where we live. And so thankfully he's off the streets and behind the desk and keeping himself safe. So that is kind of a little bit of my background. But I started with Beachbody, it was probably about 3 years ago. I'd actually done 21 Day Fix prior to meeting Christine. I'd done a bag of Shakeology for 30 days and I had some great success. I was in a group where I didn't ever post. I didn't ever talk about anything that I was doing. I sure as heck wasn't going to share anything. I barely let that coach be a friend of mine on Facebook because that's just how it was. As a police officer's wife, we don't let anybody we don't know into our world. And so I had great success, lost 8 pounds, and then promptly stopped Shakeology and stopped working out and then gained it all back. Ta-da! So then happened to be scrolling Facebook just like Christine was that one night. I remember Brian and I were binge watching Dexter. And so it was our, beer and popcorn on the couch night. And I was scrolling Facebook and I saw this post of actually kind of just like you're sitting right now, Christine, I think you're doing this. And she had posted about how she'd had some really just kind of a rough couple days, hadn't been eating well, hadn't been drinking enough water, hadn't done workouts, or if she had, they weren't really great ones, just wasn't eating right, wasn't feeling good, hadn't been in her Bible. And I remember thinking, oh, she just put that out there. Like, girl just threw that out. And then she said, but I've got my plan and I know what to go do now. And I thought, oh, awesome, because I'm a planner as much as I can be. When you have a special needs kid, you can't plan for anything other than plan for chaos. And so I just liked the fact that she had a plan, she knew what she was doing, and she was focused. So I liked it. Next thing I know, this crazy girl is trying to request my friendship on Facebook. And long story short, she invited me into the group, and I said, sure, I've done this Shake-Go thing before. Let's give it a whirl. And 3 days in, she asked me if I'd be a coach. And I jumped wholeheartedly in because, like she had said before, God had been preparing me for several months prior to that by, reminding me of doing Beachbody, reminding me, I'm not sure what's going on, reminding me of the success that I had and how I felt better at that point in time. And then all of a sudden she shows up in my newsfeed. All of a sudden she's a coach who's actively pursuing me and giving a rip about me and what's going on in my world. And so I said, well, if you care about me that much, and I knew like the one friend we had in common, she was somebody I trusted. And so I jumped in and then kind of never looked back. And she's crying. Stop crying. There's no crying in Beachbody. Just kidding. There's lots and lots of crying. We always cry all the time. So I'm going to talk about more fun things. Let's talk about money. So how do we make money as Beachbody coaches? When I started, I wasn't really all about making money. I didn't really know what that meant. But I have started kind of thinking about this new approach. And so whenever I get to sign up a new coach, I always think, what would you do with an extra $200 a month? And so you've got the chat going on. I think there's stuff popping up, but I can't really see it all. I want you to put in, what would you do with an extra $200? And for me, that extra $200 a month allowed for me to be able to pay for karate lessons for my son. James needed some sort of outlet of some sort because he was crazy. Then I want you to think about, what would you do, maybe if I can get it moving again, there we go, with an extra $200 per week. So we're talking $800 a month. What could you do with that? Pay off some credit card debt, take care of your food bill for the month, car payment, times 2 at least, right? What about $1,000 a week? Now we're talking money, people. Then there's a possibility that as a coach, you can earn up to $12,000 a week. And I know for me, when I saw that number, I was like, that's not real, but it is. And I'm going to show you how we can make that happen. So there's 4 ways that we earn money as Beachbody coaches. And the first way, which is kind of the basic way that I think a lot of people understand and they know. Hey, if you guys could put yourselves on mute, I would totally appreciate it. I love babies in the background, but I don't want to yell over them because they are so much louder and they will win every time. So the first way is through the retail commission. So that's every time that there is a bag of Shakeology, Body on Demand subscription, Tubi Mindset, performance lines. Y'all, have you tried the fruit punch? Energized, please. Okay, if not, get with your coach and make them give you a sample. Better yet, go buy it. It's just great. You'll love it anyway. Beach Bars, Ultimate Reset, 3-day refresh. Anytime that a customer purchases this item from you, you receive 25% commission. The best part too is that we're paid weekly. So Thursday, tomorrow is payday. It's a really fantastic day in our world. So every Thursday there is money that's deposited into our accounts, and it's fantastic. I love it. The next way is through team cycle bonuses. And the best way to kind of explain this, and it can get a little complicated, which is why we have Lincoln, which is why we are knowledgeable in the world of like trying to learn about it. And if, let's be honest, if it was really easy for everybody to understand, then everybody would be doing this, right? It takes a little bit of brain power and a little bit of work to figure out how this works. So as you grow your team, as you rank advance, Beachbody pays you and reimburses you for being a good leader. So as your coaches continue to help more people, Beachbody comes back and says, hey, thanks for the great work. Here's some extra cash. And it kind of works based on how well you lead your team, how much your team grows, how many people they recruit, and how many people they help. So it's not just, hey, you're a really nice person, so we're going to give you money. You have to do the work. You have to put in the energy. You've got to lead people. You've got to guide people. You've got to get results. Because let's be honest, that's what we're here for. We want to see results. That's the best part. Okay. The other one is customer leads. So when you have 2 active coaches underneath you, you're considered an emerald rank. what that means is that Beachbody says, hey, we've got these customers who signed up through Beachbody on Demand, or they called in during an infomercial, and they don't have coaches. So they will get assigned to you if you're an Emerald coach or above. So it encourages you to keep growing your business and have those coaches underneath you so that you can get those customers who need a coach. And good thing you're there. The last one, which is probably my favorite part to talk about. And when I first started, I didn't understand the concept of what this truly meant. So there's a corporate quarterly bonus. Beachbody sets aside a certain percentage of the profits for their leaders that are 2-star diamonds and above. And it's based on how well the company has done, and then a certain percentage goes to certain top coaches. And the coaches who have recruited other leaders, who have leaders that are building leaders, it's yes, they're bigger teams, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they have to be the massive and huge teams. So I'm actually a 2-star diamond coach, and I have received the very like the bottom level of the star diamond bonus. I've received 2 of them, and I just qualified for my 3rd quarter in a row. And I'm gonna give you a number because I'm a numbers person. So these bonuses were $800. Y'all, $800 was an amazing, amazing benefit, bonus, blessing to my family. But what's even more cool is that I'm watching other coaches realize this, and realize that if they just keep helping people like we're doing, and we keep getting them results like we're doing anyway, they too can build their team if they put in the hard work and effort. So bottom line is, you are in control of the income that you create in this business. So I know that there are some people out there that will hate on Beachbody and say, oh, there's no way to ever make any money. If you don't do anything, then you will not make money. True. But if you put in the work and the effort, and you do the vital 4 behaviors, and we've got this success tracker that I'm going to show you because I'm really freaking proud of it. It's so easy, like step by step, tells you how to do the job. And you're honest with people, and you're vulnerable with people. It's amazing how easy this job can be when you follow the plan that's been laid out for you. So one thing I want to ask you is, how do you want the world to be a better or different place? For me, I want to be able to be available for my kids. I want to be at home whenever they need me. But I also want to be able to take care of the people in my life and in my family. So in my church, I've been blessed by some amazing people in my world, and I want to be able to do whatever I can financially to be able to take care of them and give back to them. So how can you use this opportunity to make that happen? So I just want you to think about it. So if you've got these big things and these big dreams about all these big things you want to do in the world, you know, we are moms, or we're dads, we're singles, we're married, whatever it is, how do you want to make the world better? And how do you envision Beachbody making that opportunity happen? And because corporate people will want to know, Beachbody does not guarantee any level of success or income from the Team Beachbody coach opportunity. Each coach's income depends on his or her own efforts, diligence, and skills. See the statement of independent coach earnings for the most recent information. Blah, 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 blah. Because the legal guys make us say that. So bottom line is, you're still in control of everything that you earn in this business. So that's not my share. Then I'm going to see what all these fun questions are. This is my favorite part. I want to see what y'all said. Oh, travel, airplane ticket, housekeeping. Yes, Sue. Kids are lessons, paying for kids' sports. That's right. I love it. Paying off credit cards. Emily, that's a girl. Wait, saving for my big 3-0 trip, Megan. That sounds like a great plan. Rent, travel, vacation, airplanes. Yes, y'all, this is so good. This is what we need to be focusing on. This is why we do what we do. Oh, Destiny, your paycheck's going to be huge, girl. I'm so excited for you. Speaking of Destiny, she's the next one I get to introduce. This girl, I'm so proud of her. Like, I'm not a mom of her, obviously. I am old enough to probably be her mom if you do the math. But it has been a joy to watch her grow and mature and battle like nobody's business. So Destiny, tell me how you do this in college, girl.
All right, so hello. I don't know what I just did. Okay, so I'm on my phone because my PC is restarting. So with that being said, all my notes were on my PC, so that's great. And my brain works at 100 miles per hour, so hopefully this will go okay. If not, I'm so sorry. So anyway, my name is Destiny, and I am a junior at Indiana University, and I am studying finance through the Kelley School of Business. If you don't know what the Kelley School of Business is, it is the third business school in the nation. Not saying that to brag, just saying that because I do not have the type of major where I can slack off or where I have a whole bunch of extra time on my hands. It's definitely a major where I have to be busy all the time. I have exams literally every week. During this call, I've been studying for 2 exams that I have tomorrow, and I am constantly meeting with my teams and doing different things like that, which just has made it completely impossible for me to find a job where I can have a set schedule in front of me and be able to commit that without suffering my grades in some way. And it's amazing because now I have found a job that not only do I get to make my own schedule, but it's also something that is benefiting me in the future, which jobs in college, being a waitress or being a minimum wage maker at Staples, is not going to benefit you in the future. And this job is benefiting me in the future, and it's not taking away from my grades. So with that being said, I'll get back up to all that in a second, but I'm going to kind of talk about my fitness and coaching journey. So I started being a Beachbody coach November of 2017. And so it's been a struggle, not necessarily a struggle. Okay, let me rephrase. So basically how I started is, so I started Insanity because the freshman 15 is a real thing. So I started Insanity. I started seeing results in less than a month. So I posted my progression on Team Beachbody because I was like, oh, there's a free shirt. I'm getting that shirt. Let's go. And that's when I was paired with Christine. I had no idea what a Beachbody coach was, and thank God I got Christine because she suggested that I should be a Beachbody coach, and I was like, oh my gosh, I get to share this amazing product that has changed my life already in less than a month with other people. Okay, sign me up. So she decided sending me the link, $160. I was like, oh my gosh, I am a college student. I have a college bank account. I think at the time I had $179 in my bank account. So I was like, okay, here's a decision. Am I going to do this? Am I not? I'm definitely not planning on this because the way I was making money was I was donating my plasma. So I was like, whew, gotta donate my plasma about 3 more times in order to pay off this. Thank God I decided that Beachbody was worth it because now I do not have to donate plasma anymore. So I decided, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm getting this thing called Shakeology. Don't know what that is, but it's by the same company that produced Insanity. I'm in because I completely believe in the products. I didn't even know what the product was, but I was like, I believe in it. I believe in it. So I decided, I think I had less than $10 in my bank account whenever everything was said and done, but that's okay. So then I started going pretty strong because people were asking me at the time, oh, hey, what are you doing? You've lost all this weight. Told them, and so I got all the way up to a diamond rank, and I think I was coaching for about from November until I think I didn't hit Success Club for the first time in April or May, and I was like so disappointed. But what happened, short story, is I got in this super controlling and relationship where it started off I couldn't work out. Then it turned into I couldn't post on social media. Then it turned into you can't do this. You can't be a Beachbody coach. And I was like, this is my favorite thing to do. Like, I'm impacting lives and helping people. Like, what is so bad about this? But at the time, I think there was a 7-8 month period I wasn't a coach anymore. And during that time, I never canceled my coach membership. So I was paying each month to be a coach because I knew it was something I loved. I knew it was something I wanted to get back at. And I figured if I give up on being a coach, I'm giving up on myself. And I didn't want to do that. And so not only did I not want to give up on myself, but Christine never gave up on me. This whole team that's here today never gave up on me. Even though I wasn't helping them and producing an income for them, they cared about me. And I'm about to cry because I'm being serious with you guys. Like, they were checking in on me. They were seeing how I was doing. They cared. And I mean, it's hard to find people who really, truly care about you. So it's not about the money. It's about the relationships that you're building too. So it was completely amazing. And thank God for Christine. Thank God for all of you all. Thank God for Beachbody, because if it wasn't for you guys, I would still be in this horrible relationship. And who knows, I could have spent the rest of my life being miserable. So with that being said, I finally came back. I think I started really back up in January. I met Shanti. I was like, okay, let's go. And so with that being said, I have already gotten my diamond back. And so if you are someone who has gone away or gone MIA or just like not been present, don't worry about it, because life happens and people understand that life happens. So they will be there for you whenever you do come back, because you came back is the thing. Like, oh my gosh, like, you had this issue and this is so important to you that you're going to come back. So people will listen to you. So don't worry about it, because I know I did. I was like, people won't trust me. Like, I'm not consistent. No, they'll still trust you. Okay. So anyway, I'm never going to lose that again. I will never leave again, because I have found my family. I've found my belonging. So now I'm going to talk more about how this fits in to my schedule. So being a college student, like I said, I'm busy all the time. I never know what is going to happen. And that's okay, because I get to make my own schedule. So like I said, I have 2 exams tomorrow. And so I wasn't really active on my business, but guess what? I worked out in the morning, posted a little something, messaged a few people, got all that out of the way, ended up selling two things today, even though I wasn't working, just because of the things that I've done before. So when you're not able to work, you're still working for yourself from before. So that's amazing, for one. 2, now let me just say 3 things that college students are doing, and especially if you're interested in Beachbody. First off, I'm working out every day, so I'm getting paid basically to work out. I post on social media and I talk, text, message my friends. That's what being a Beachbody coach is: working out, talking, communicating, and helping other people. And like, why not get paid for something you're already doing? And you're helping all these people, which is amazing. And not only that, but guys, we are in college, and do you understand? Not just me. I know there's a lot of people out there. Freshman 15 is real. You have so many people who are wanting to get into shape, who are wanting to change their lives, and they're in your hands right here. And all these people are on social media, so you can help them. So that is like why I love this too, is because not only am I helping other people, but they're helping me. Because some days, I don't really feel like getting up and working out, but because there's people under me that are counting and depending on me, I'm going to show up, and it holds myself accountable, which is amazing. So I don't really remember what I was gonna say. So like, other than that, like, it's just awesome because of the fact that you are in control, like Abby said, of your income. So I don't have to bust my butt to make $7.25 an hour. I can bust my butt in my own time, laying in my bed, watching The Office and posting on social media, and I get paid for that. So I mean, it's awesome. And not only do I love the fact that I get paid to do something I love, but I love the fact that I truly am impacting lives and sharing what I've done. Whenever I get a post or when someone sends me a progression photos, like, I don't know if any of my girls are on here, but I love you all. And whenever you send me things like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy I joined this. It's the best decision of my life. And like when people have sent me photos from before and after, it changes me and it makes me cry every time because I'm like, wow, this is such an amazing company because I truly believe in the product. These people are obviously seeing results. Like, I don't know. So not only do you get the mental satisfaction, but you also get paid. And also with what I was going to say before, I forgot, like, I'm sorry, I'm all over the place, but I wanted to say about how the whole relationship that I was in, whenever I stopped doing my workouts through Beachbody is whenever everything kind of fell apart. So I can totally see how this really does impact like your mindset completely, because never once did I think I would let someone tell me I can't wear makeup, I can't wear leggings, I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't speak with my friends and my family. What? Like, no, that is not me. But whenever I stopped doing those workouts, I started feeling more and more like lost. And I even had on my message board, like, do insanity for your sanity, because it truly does impact everything in your mind. And that's what my motivation is every day, not for me to look better. That's awesome, but it's for me to be mentally stable. And so removing that one aspect that is so amazing with Beachbody caused a ripple effect to just really deteriorate. And that's another reason why I love this company. I know I'm rambling and talking a lot, but like, honestly, I couldn't think of a better way to really set yourself up. And a lot of people in college too have no idea what they're going to do. And if you're interested in fitness and working out and doing things like this, why not give it a shot? Because number one, you could end up making this your career and having an amazing support system and having a great income where you are your own boss. You don't have to go into work and dress up, because God knows I do not want to, like, I'm in business school, and so I do not want to wake up every morning at 5 a.m. and curl my hair and put on a dress. I want to do something that I love. And so my office, I get to wear leggings, I get to wear sweatpants, and I get to look sweaty and nasty, but I love it. And so do my girls, and I'm going to shut up now, but like, honestly, I don't know. It's awesome. So I'll shut up.
Oh my gosh, that was so amazing. Thank you for sharing.
Oh,
Yeah, what?
I'll look at messages. I like completely blocked it, because if I get one eyeball on something.
That's okay.
Completely.
Yeah, go ahead, read them real quick.
Okay. My husband is in the NBA. Okay, Emily. Yeah, it's good. I was gonna do 3-2, but I didn't. Business school top. She's yeah, Ram said no. Freshman 17 over here. Girl, I said freshman 15, but it really was like freshman 30, honestly. Oh yeah, I didn't know. Christine, do you want to show the picture? Oh, thank you, Megan.
I had it on my phone. Let me see if I can find it. All right, Christine. Yeah, because she was going to share it on her computer. So hold on, I'll see if I can find it.
I can't do anything fancy on my phone, and if I can, I have no idea.
Hey, you have a question there, Destiny?
I do? I don't think so. I kind of tried to.
No, literally someone just typed one.
Oh.
Do you want me to read it to you?
Hold on.
Can you see it?
How do you convince other college students that you can have college students budget and it will be worth the investment so that they can work the business? Okay, so basically I start out, I'm like, okay, so first off, I'll sign you up as a coach so that you can get these discounts. And number two, I will work with you and share with you what I do, because honestly, this is the best investment I've ever made in my whole entire life. And if it was down to the penny, I would do it again. I would spend every cent I had on this because it has made me such a happier person. I don't care if I'm living in a shack on the street. I'm happy, and I have Beachbody. That's all I need. But like, honestly, and sharing your actual story and how it's changed your life really helps other people see, because like for Shakeology, it's expensive, I know, but I used to get sick at least like 6 times a year. I haven't gotten sick. I don't have allergies anymore, and it's completely changed my life, and I'm happier and I have that energy, and it's insane how crazy. But whenever you truly believe in what you're selling, people see that. Like, I just started, for an example, I started posting videos of me in the morning before I work out, just kind of dancing and sharing. I am passionate about this. I do love doing this. Like, it's something that I love, and people are like, oh my gosh, like, I want to be that happy doing something that I can make money with. So then they see it, and like, seeing it doesn't have to be your transformation. It can be someone else's that you found. Just different things like that help a lot. And just believing and sharing. Sorry, that was a really long answer to that, but did that help? I don't know.
Hey, thanks, Courtney. Here, can you guys see that? Can you see, that's Destiny's, can you see that?
Oh, hey, my laptop just turned on.
Oh, it did?
Let me see if I can.
I know.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Hold on, I think Courtney sent it to me. Hey, I want to touch super quick on that too, Megan, because I'm literally, let's not talk about how much older I am than Destiny. A lot. So take it, I'm old enough to be her mom and then some. But from my personal experience when I was in college, and one thing that I try to do with people is where and how we spend our money. So I paid my own way. I had no support from my parents, and they did that on purpose. So I had to take any job I could get, and I didn't have a car, so it had to be within walking distance of my apartment, which was at Purdue. So having a lot of these Hoosiers here. Anyways, there it is. Awesome.
Again?
Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Megan. All right, here we go. We got some boilers. All right. So as far as that, so I look at it is that this is an investment in your own business. The jobs I had in college, like Destiny talking about, were pure crap. I had to take what I could get, and some of them were absolutely horrible, and I hated them. But I had to take what I can get. When you're making a $160 investment, that's something you have utter and complete control over. And not only when you're a college student, but when you're a person in general, we are in charge of how we spend our money. And I wish I would have known that I can invest into a business rather than sell my books for beer, because that's what I did. And I sold my books for beer, okay? I ate utter crap and I drank like a fish, and I was at my absolute heaviest, and I always use that as my before picture from college, okay? So you have to look at how you're spending your money. I do that a lot with cost objections in general. When people say, I can't afford Shakeology, and I know some of you are like, what is that? But can you really not afford it? Because what else are you eating? Because I'm going to guess that most people struggle with nutrition, which is why they've come to us in the first place, or we've reached out to them, and they're probably eating fast food 2 to 3 times a week. Or they're going to the grocery store, not even thinking about what they're purchasing or what they're putting into their cart. So it's all about helping that individual see where they're currently spending their money and how we can help them see where they can replace it. And this is an investment in your own business. This is not a brick and mortar. There's no overhead. There is no stocking of products. There's not all this stuff. It is literally, you can take that 160 as an investment into your own health, into your own nutrition, opening a business. And if you start working, like everyone said tonight, you can immediately start impacting lives, and therefore you're going to make income. So it was something we were taught last night that I really loved. We are here to end the trends, not singular. Our mission statement is to help people achieve their goals by living healthy and fulfilling lives. And it was something in 6.5 years I never heard before. That is plural. So it's not just about your weight. It's not just about your nutrition. It's not just about your health, which are all super important because without them, you have nothing, but it's also financial. And I think that's something that it's okay to talk about. We want you to be coaches to help you financially as well. So anyways, I don't know if anybody has any other questions. I like to keep it at an hour. We are at an hour and 1 minute. But if anybody has any questions, please, you can put it in the chat. Please feel free to speak up. I am so proud of my girls. It's been a very emotional day, but I live and breathe this, and I'm obsessed, and I am okay with that, and I'm not embarrassed by it. And if you think I'm weird, good. That's all right. I am. And I love my team. I'm so proud of them. I'm so proud that they share their stories and their knowledge. And that's why we do these, so you can see us as a community. And I always joke with people, you can decide if we're crazy, or which we are, or you can decide, I want to be like them because they are way cool. So yes, we are all weird. And yes, see, we're all weird. Okay. So listen, I want to thank you guys so very much for all of your time. Those that came on just to find out what we do, for my team, for hopping on as well. I know people have exams. I know people have 800 kids waiting to go to bed. And I am so grateful and appreciative. So listen, any questions that you have, you can reach out to your coach that invited you. You can reach out to whoever you want. If there's another coach on here that maybe you connected with that, not you're going to sign up with that coach, you're going to sign up with the coach that invited you, but that might relate better to your story and be able to answer questions. So anyways, thank you guys so very much. And hopefully we will have, it has 2 pages of Zoom, like 2 pages of people on a Zoom, which is awesome. So hopefully that means that we'll have that many people sign up and join our team. So thank you guys so much. Have a great night. Thank you.